I remember seeing Deadmau5 play this show at some club, and it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. And this was like my introduction to EDM at the time. This is around the same time that you are starting to work with him. What was it about you that made him interested in you to take, because then you ended up going on tour with him?
It was a lot of networking and just things that worked out well. It's crazy when you think about it, because it's just like this crazy family tree that you could just trace every little thing
right.
that branches out to that. And then just looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing that it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I worked at Avalon. The promoter was Giant, and they did a night in Orange County. At the same time, Pioneer, the US division, they kind of like needed some photos of DJs actually using the CDJs. So They would just like hit me up every time, like, oh, you got a good shot of this person using the DJ, can we license it? And then through that, at the same time, Tommy Lee from Motley Crue was starting his DJ like side gig with DJ Arrow, and he was playing at one of the Orange County gigs. So my friend from Pioneer invited me to come down to meet him and just like hang out. And he's like, oh, this is Tommy Lee. This is Drew. He's an amazing photographer and everything like that.
Flex.
It's like, cool. Get some pictures of me and everything like that. And I took pictures of him just like chilling out and some good gig pictures. And then he just happened to say, this was like at the end of 2017. He's like, oh, my friend Joel, who plays as Deadmau5, he's just starting as a DJ, and he's going to play his first ever gig in, I think, LA or the US, one of those two, in like December of 2007. You should come along because I'm going to go there and support him. So I'm like, okay. And it was this Club Circus, which is like this huge, like 3,000 or 4,000 capacity club. And I go there, and there's only like 150, 200 people. There's like very little people, but all of them are complete diehard fans.
Wow.
So he introduced me to Deadmau5, and I just took my usual good pictures, and he's like, oh yeah, I heard of you because the person that took my press photos is a big fan of your work. So it kind of worked like that. And then right after that, in like 2008, he started doing like a big winter music conference run in Miami with Tommy Lee. And he's like, you should come along and take pictures of me at Ultra and do all these side gigs and everything. And then it just kind of like ballooned from there, where I went to doing a few gigs to eventually starting to tour with him. And then he did his production, and then that went to huge tours and everything like that.
And at that time, was it typical for artists to have their own personal person with them?
Most of the time it was just like, oh, well, if we go do this club in the middle in somewhere in the US, they'll have a local photographer. We'll just get pictures from them. Don't care if they're good or not. We'll just do it. But since Deadmau5 had a brand that he wanted to look good, I think he just kind of got the idea that if he's taking good pictures, he could take good pictures of me, and then it dominoes from there. How
does that start to change your career? Like personally, are you getting hit up by other artists? Are you starting to get hit up by like companies and brands more so than you were before? How'd that go for you?
It was, there were like a few more companies, like music industry companies, but still at that time, for the longest time, it was just Deadmau5 for a while. So basically until he came out with the Cube production in like 2007 at Coachella, and people were like, oh my God, first Daft Punk brought this production, now Deadmau5 has one and he could bring it anywhere.
Right.
And then he started touring the world with it. That's when all the other artists and DJs were like, well, if he could do it, then I could do that, because before it was like, oh, Daft Punk did this, I don't think I could ever do that. But he just basically said, look, if I could do it, you could do it. And then all the other artists were like, well, we got to think of production now, and we got to think ahead of the game. And then within like 2 or 3 years, then artists started getting production, started hitting me up for tours and stuff like that.
Thanks for listening to this clip. Make sure to listen to the full interview, which is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Hit the subscribe button for more highlights and join our Black with No Cream private community for creators. Links in the description.